Dark Satellite Media.
Hey, wow. Welcome to this amazing bonus episode of Red River Podcast. Today, we get to talk to TJ Penzone again. So, it's been a while, man. So to see, that pretty face of yours alive and well among so many instruments, it makes me happy. So
maybe you should record the video on this. So people...
I don't know. If anyone listening wants to see the video, just send it and send me some money and I'll send you jerk off material.
Perfect.
What's going on?
Nothing, man. Just it's been working on a lot of stuff lately. We haven't had a chance to catch up too much lately, but
so let's catch up.
Here we are. Just working. I got a new These People 7-inch coming out soon.
I saw on what label?
It's through this label Greenwich Recordings and my own label called Parallel Division.
That's right.
Yeah. So which is cool. Actually, I have a good story about that actually.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
So I originally, I can't believe I'm starting off with this. Let me go into it in a little bit. Actually, I'm not ready.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you got some music coming out.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's coming out through that, and this label is kind of doing like the physical stuff, like 7 inches, cassettes, 10-inch stuff, and also any of the stuff that I produce that I want to put through that, I can do that as well. So it'll come through my label, through their label. So
what about your back catalog, like all the Walter stuff?
What do you mean?
Well,
the song me and Daryl produced. You're talking about?
Yeah.
That was just through the label that he was on at the time that put it out. So it has nothing to do. Yeah, none of that. The only back catalog thing that I can put out through my own is the stuff I did for Keith Buckley. We did like a
cool. Every Time I Die.
We produced a thing for him, and that never really came out for real. So I might put that out through the label. I've been talking to him about that.
What is that?
Really cool project.
Yeah, tell me.
Tape. It's called Tape, and it's he sounds great on it. It's a very, very VHS inspired beats and really pretty vocals. It's a really cool project. So we're trying to get that out in the next within this year. So
that's cool, because like Every Time I Die is so chaotic.
It's so opposite.
So opposite, but that's what you want to do. Like when you're like in Glassjaw, like you, for example, Daryl, then you're like, oh, maybe I just want to go sing something else. It's like when you have like fucking what's the singer of Dillinger Escape Plan now does like more of like a new wave sound. It's like you kind of want to like test out the waters on certain things. It's like, oh, I've been screaming for 10 years. Now I want to sing something pretty.
Yeah. I mean, and those dudes, at least, all those dudes also sing in their stuff too. So I don't know. I don't like to get into the mind of other people, whatever they want to do, but or less.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're talking, we're dissecting.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless, it's a cool project and I'm excited. I think I'm going to put out my brother has a project I'm going to put out, I believe, on it. And just be cool to have some physical copies and get it out there, get in some whatever stores are left. And
your brother's last what is he doing stuff under again? I forgot.
He Richard Flesh is his like other project where it's all his art stuff. He does all of These People art, which is really I love it. I've been using him since the beginning. Um, but he and then he did his, so he put it, yeah, he used the name Richard Flesh, and he put out like his own record in the last year, which is really far out. And now he's doing another project. So yeah, he just has a ton of music. So
why do you think you guys have like such interesting musical taste? Because a lot of the stuff you send me, when we talk via text, you'll be like, "Oh, check out this song," and it's always like some like weird random song from like the '70s that I never heard of. And then your brother does interesting music too. Like, how did you guys grow up that you guys gravitate towards this stuff?
we actually we didn't really grow up with a very musical family. We had an uncle who was like a multi-instrumentalist, but we weren't very close to him at all.
Okay.
It was like my mother's uncle, but my mom's tone deaf, my dad's tone deaf. I remember like in like high school, like or right before high school, like my dad, the only CDs he had in the car were the White Album, Yanni,
Oh,
and I can't remember what the other one was, but I remember him being like, "This dude's blind. Isn't it amazing?" I'm like, what does that have to do with him being able to sing? You can move the microphone anywhere. That's not the impressive part. Like maybe his voice is beautiful, but what does him being blind have to do with his voice? But
are you talking about Andrea Bocelli?
I am talking about that. So it was Andreas Bocelli and Yanni and and the White Album. But I grabbed the White Album, and that was to me what I think. I remember the first time I was wearing. I remember very vividly. I was wearing a Dinosaur Jr. shirt. I was a big skater when I was growing up.
Me too.
And I was just getting in. I was really into a lot of music, probably through skating was getting into a lot of stuff. But
it'll get you into music like that for sure.
Yeah, but this kid I was friends with, his name was Rob Demery. I just can't believe I haven't even thought of him in like 15 years. But yeah, he was a really nice dude, and he was like, "Yo, we're doing a cover band, Jimi Hendrix cover band. I heard you started playing guitar. You want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And I'm thinking, and after I was like, "I can't play." Yeah. And I definitely can't play Hendrix. Like that was like unbelievable. Like I remember just being like, "Why did I say yes to this dude? There's no chance." So I remember I just started learning stuff. The first thing I ever did was I went to the library, and my mom got me like Eleanor Rigby, like how to play like a VHS tape. And I remember just sitting there, and I had an electric guitar at the time, and I thought that was smarter than playing acoustic, since I was a little more difficult. And I remember learning it, which is funny because Eleanor Rigby has zero guitar, so it's all.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
that's the irony.
That's a really tough one to start with. Yeah, so it's
not really. It's just like E C C E. Like
it sounds very fancy, but like all these missteps and the Yanni influence, all these things are kind of making sense to me right now. So yes.
Yeah, the Yanni was not not particularly an influence to me, but nothing against him. I just don't know anything.
It's part of the story.
But yeah, so anyway, I think we I got into music. My brother was kind of like very into comics and basketball and all that kind of stuff. And then I remember I was like, I need a bass player. Like if I could play guitar, you could play bass. And then he started playing bass, and he turned out to just like it was such in his DNA. Like he was very advanced at a very young age. It was very strange. Like he just all of a sudden started playing drums, and he would watch like the Neil Peart, like how like Neil Peart sitting on a canoe and teaching drum lessons. And he just, I remember Rick was just very, like he acclimated to it very quickly. Like it was just, he was very gifted on that. So anyways, I think like we, and we also grew up in a certain time where everyone we knew, like as we started to know people in local, everyone was in bands, and I don't know. So I think I did like 10 bands before, like all different styles. I think I tried like everything. Not everything.
And like right now, like, so like These People is like your baby. And it's always like an interesting sound. Like I know you were dropping singles not too long ago. So like, if you could describe, which is impossible, but I'm going to ask you anyway, but like for someone listening that wants to check out the band, like how would you describe at least what you're trying to get across with a band like These People?
It's not, I don't think I'm specifically trying anything other than it's just what I like after, the last band and we talked about in the last podcast, after Men, Women, Children broke up, I think I just when I started writing music, I didn't have any intention, I kind of was like, this is when I started like messing around GarageBand, which I laugh about it because I went from GarageBand into like getting so deep into recording, but
you're deep.
I'm pretty deep. I'm very deep in, but my point is that I think a lot of the stuff that I grew up on kind of came out. You know what I mean? Like when I went to write, it was like there was not one band that was current that I was intentionally trying to rip off. I didn't even think about it. I just was, as I was touring a lot with the last band, and I remember just being in England and just sitting in the hotel, like with this miniature little guitar, like learning these Bowie tunes, like, and just trying to just like keep studying, like, you know, after getting a major label deal and touring and doing all this stuff, I took it very seriously as to like what I was ingesting musically. You know what I mean? Like I stopped listening to like my friends' bands, and not there's anything wrong with that, but you know what I mean? Like I just started like being like, oh, I want to learn how to just write songs more so, like, or get better at them. I've always written songs, but I don't think they were very good when I was early. But
are you always going to feel that way? Because like, you know, whatever I come up with this year, I'll probably think that you know, like next year I'll be like, oh, this song is so much better, you know?
I you know, I think I kind of found like a gray area of like, it sounds, I don't know how to say it, but it's kind of like they're all just different pieces to me. There's nothing I really listen back to, and at least these people specifically. Like I heard something recently because I had to learn an old song for something, and I listened back and I'm like, it was like 2012, this song, and I'm like, I actually even like the recording. Like I was kind of like, have I learned anything? Because this doesn't bother me at all. And I'm so anal on like the inception of it, and you know, or my brother will play on stuff, and it's just like everything is so like calculated that when it's done and I go back to it, I actually like kind of, I wouldn't say I enjoy it, but I don't hate it. You know what I mean? I kind of like understand what I was doing. So
what is your like songwriting process like in particular? Like let's say like the Forces at Work was the last thing you guys put out, right?
Yeah.
So how does something like that, like how does the inception come about? Because I would imagine you start a lot of things by yourself, and then from there you just build.
It's that does happen a lot. Like I'll kind of sit and I'll either like track a tune to like a click track and then start adding stuff, and then by the time I kind of throw it over to my brother, who's like an unofficial band member, it kind of just plays on stuff when I annoy him to. And it's like I'm kind of, there's a lot of times I'll like write something to a click, and I start building on that. But it's funny, the Forces at Work that I just released was the opposite of that. That song started when me and Rick were just, actually, I think he just did the drums and bass in Mike Sapone's studio. It's like a while ago, how old that's like the genesis of that song was. And he just did like, he was kind of doing like the band Can, like kind of like a beat. And then he played the same bass line through the entire song. So I had that skeleton. And then like years later, I found it and I wrote a tune on top of it, keeping his exact drums and bass.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really funny. That was one song that I didn't start. He actually made that loop, like a live loop kind of, you know what I mean? And then
I'm a big loop fan. I like songs with loops because I like to write to that. I feel like you could really get a good melody off on that, you know, from the repetition, and then from there just add the layering as you know, the progressions come. So,
well, it's you were mentioning to me, I know we'll talk about it, but about like my favorite or most influential records, which is very, very difficult as I tried to do that, because I think I go through phases where I'm obsessed. Like recently I sent you that tune. I found
what song? I forgot. I was looking for
the dude from the oh my god, why am I? Oh, Johnny Thunders. I was
like,
the dude from the New York Dolls. So, but like, I never really got into him. We almost actually did a tour with them in Men, Women, and Children, actually, and we ended up not doing it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was very strange. We like, they wanted us to do it. It was really cool, and we turned it down because we did that Gang of Four tour. It's like when you do those kind of like nostalgia tours, it's hard to really make money. You're just doing it so you could say you went on tour with the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways. So this Johnny Thunder song came on, and I became obsessed with it. Like it was just on my Spotify. Like I forgot what else I was listening to. Like the advert, I was listening to something, and it just went to it. And I was like, that happens to me every once in a while, where it's like you hear a song once and it just clicks to you. It doesn't always happen to me, but every once in a while, I was just like, this tune is like I sent it to you. I'm like sitting on the beach and I'm like listening to this tune. Yeah. And I just learned it. It was very simple. At night, I just like was like, I have to now ingest this tune until I get sick of it. I actually haven't listened to it in a minute now since, but
sometimes songs click. Like you know, you hear things over and over again. And that's how it was like back in the day when you would like buy a cassette before you had access to everything on the planet on your phone. You would buy something and you're like, all right, this is kind of okay. And then by like the 10th listen, like the second song just like hits you and you're like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit, you like Pour Some Sugar on Me is actually pretty good."
I never got to that point yet. I'm gonna. No, I'm joking.
You gotta keep trying. But
I
then
gotta keep trying.
you also sent me The Only Ones, Another Girl, Another Planet.
Yeah, that's another tune that I was like, I don't even remember how I heard of that. It was like a few years ago, but it's like it just starts with this like kind of like noodly guitar solo, and then when it kicks into that vocal, I was just like mesmerized by it. That's another one the other day I figured out because I was like, I gotta know how to play this tune.
I mean, 1978. Yeah, that's you know, I a lot of this stuff, even the stuff that band can, like these are things that I never really discovered.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe I stay current. So I'm always looking for things that came out in 2021.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe you dig a little more the other way.
It's not like, you know what it is? I think it's like, yeah, I don't know. It came to a point where I think I kept finding like, I like finding things on my own.
Yeah.
Like, and not like, it's not like fully intentional. Like if you show me something that came out, I might be like, this is really rad. I think, yeah, I don't know. There's something about like older, like everyone thinks they've heard every single tune that's come out, but they haven't. It's all new. I mean, it's a lot of things are new to you, like mostly,
yeah.
you know, whatever. Obviously everyone has varied music taste, but I think if you're like only listening to new stuff, like it's just like you're kind of putting yourself in a headspace of what's going on in that thing, and nothing's right or wrong. I just think I just tend to enjoy the like I said, that Johnny Thunder song. I don't know anyone that sent me a tune that I, like that hit me like that in a long time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, and there's something about that, and it makes me kind of rethink something and maybe like go to write something that I wouldn't have written. So.
Well, I mean, we all look for, I don't know if we look for inspiration, but as songwriters, it comes from something like, you like that'll inspire you to just be like, man, this song really makes you want to get in the studio and write something. I mean, obviously it's going to be your own thing, but like when something, like that Midnight song that I sent you, that song Los Angeles, like I listened to it like 50 times and it's like 7 years old, but it finally clicked one day and I'm like, that's it. I got to start a synthwave band.
yeah, but it's like, it's tough though in that. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's just funny. It inspires you in that way, but I think I'm so locked into what I've been kind of, by the way, my cat, George Harrison Ford, is like moving my microphone.
I love that name.
I call him Harrison. I know, probably not going to keep this video, but it might be worth it for this.
So you like that cable? It turned out good for you. Now you could start your own podcast now.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That little cable, I just got it, plugged it in, and I was a little worried. I don't know if I should have been, but
no, it works great
here. Here. So I was like, is this going to mess anything up? But anyway, regarding songwriting, I think like, to me, I just really enjoy, like, I think I just have had a process for so long that I'm like, I just keep tweaking it a little bit, but I find that I have a lot of the same, like ways to get there or troubleshooting things. You know what I mean? Like, so that at the end of it, I still push myself, but I have a specific process,
What about lyrics? Because like, to me, like I could write a song, I could write a melody, but like the older I get, I'm just like, oh my God. Like by the time it gets to like the lyric part,
yeah,
I'm always like, oh, so annoying. Like, what am I going to write about now?
A lot of people feel that way, I think. And I feel like I feel that way. Sorry, my notepad. But like, yeah, lyrics to me are like, my process on lyrics are, I think I've even told you this in private, but lyrics are tough. I think when I was younger, I kind of like, they were so bad. It was almost like a lot of people write like stream of consciousness, but they don't have the vocabulary for it. So you're just like saying all these things like, that are common phrases or weird things that don't make any sense whatsoever. Sure. And I think as men, women, children helped me a lot because I was just mostly singing and writing lyrics. And I found writing about something is huge. Like if I said this song is about Sam taking mushrooms and sitting on a beach, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to do a bunch of fodder and write a whole bunch of stuff. And then I go and edit it. So
am I listening to Johnny Thunders?
You might be listening to Johnny Thunders at the time when you do that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so, or like I'll watch movies with, I always have subtitles on, or I'll see like a word or a line and I'll take it and I'll write it down or I'll twist it. And I find that the easiest way for me to like the lyrics I write are creating all that fodder and then editing and editing and edit. And I found out years later that David Bowie used to have like a machine, like just random phrases, like he would.
Oh wow,
I could be wrong. I would fact check that, but I did hear that.
It sounds good.
But if you think about even like, I can't compare mine to that, but I'm saying even those kind of lyrics, like they're phrases. You know what I mean? They're all like every line is like a cool line on its own. It's like, you know, I'm like, but sometimes you try to say something, you say nothing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And Steve Malcolmus was good from Pavement.
I love him. I love him.
He was really good at stuff like that. But like,
he's a great lyricist.
Yeah, but I mean, he would just say that I don't know. He would just say shit. And
what was the line about the Smashing Pumpkins? Didn't he have a line?
So he
Smashing Pumpkins suck.
Nah, he threw out. He threw out like a diss to Stone Temple Pilots, Smashing Pumpkins on Range Life. They're Elegant Bachelors. They're something like that. Might have it's Smashing Pumpkins and Stone Temple Pilots. But like with Malcolmus, like you almost think to yourself, like, I feel like nothing he's saying makes sense, but it still sounds cool. And maybe it does make sense, but maybe it. Like as a songwriter, you could always be like I was just answering this question for I was doing some like interview for this like thing, and they were like, "Oh, tell us about the new EP and this song." And in my head, I'm thinking like, why would I do that? Like I don't like I want people to listen to it and be like,
I hate that. I hate trying to describe what a song's about, especially if it's about nothing.
Yeah. This song's
and I gotta look at my own lyrics and go, oh no, this was about you know.
Yeah, like it's just like, and I'm like, you know what? I did the textbook answer. I'm like, I want the listener to really make their own decision.
It's all nonsense.
Yeah,
but it's this I don't know. It's really funny. I'm actually really bad at knowing other people's lyrics, like horrible.
Me too.
I'll just take that screenshot of this dude.
I'm actually I'm going to Oceanside in a little bit.
Are you?
And we're doing some covers. My friend's having some people over, and he's got the band set up in the basement, and I think we were doing like 10 or 12 covers, but I suck at fucking remembering lyrics. So we're doing shit like Holland 1945, and I'm like, yo, there's way too many lyrics in this fucking song.
I literally I've done covers, and I am like, dude, I forget the words to like something from the Beatles. Like I literally,
a song you've heard forever.
Yeah, I just, if I did that, I'm saying it's just like very strange. I just don't. I like to look them up sometimes, but I'm saying like not in my head. I don't remember my own stuff. I remember, I guess, for obvious reasons. But
I don't even do that. Like I'll like at practice, like I'll sing like the second verse, and I'll be like, whatever. So
yeah,
it's like a mental block. It's almost like me still rebelling against homework. I'm like, I don't want to learn shit, man. Fuck this.
Yeah,
I'll just wing it.
Yeah,
but yeah, tell me about the projects that you want to talk about and this label.
So I have so the next single though, the 7-inch is coming out. Harrison. Yeah,
I did.
You won the keyboard. This 7 inches of these people, 2 tracks, one called Levels, and the one is The Forces at Work that was released already. Levels is a tune. Walter Schreifel sings backup on this song. And
that's cool.
it was cool. I told you I was psyched about that. He's a good dude. And
okay, something like he's a great dude. Most importantly, an amazing songwriter.
He is really, really good. Obviously, but it was something we recorded a bit ago. I talked to him recently. I was like, by the way, the song's coming out that he's saying on. He's like, oh, cool. Let me know. But that's a dude who just does so much stuff, and he's got such a distinct style, like,
the new Quicksand song is so good.
It really is. I heard it. I was like, I like that last thing they put out too. I thought it was really cool. It's really hard to not put out a record for 20 years and then put out an album.
Yeah.
And I think it was really cool. And then I was pretty impressed by it. I thought it was awesome. And then I heard that's the new song. I was like, and I really loved it too. So
Yep.
But anyway, so that's coming out. I'm excited. I'm trying to get a video done for it. The 7 inch is already printed. So I have a
Tell-
pre-order for that.
Tell me about your idea for the video.
Um, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it because the Forza work I did with this dude James Morano is really. Oh, he did your video.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good dude. Very super talented. Like I never trust anybody, and he's like one dude that I think I said the same conversation last time, so forget it.
That's right.
But
No one was listening to
yeah,
our conversation.
That's
oh, you
true.
said it on the podcast?
Yeah, I was talking about him because I just met him at that point.
Oh,
So I've worked with him. I've worked with him. But anyway, this video was like I was trying to do a continuation of the Force of Work video where like the world blows up at the end of it. Like you said, like the Earth, it's like a missile goes. It's all like very high quality footage, like found footage. But I don't know that this levels video. I had like I don't know. I had a weird idea, like a cult living in this like post-apocalyptic thing, and then you find out that the cult leader is this child, and who I was going to use my niece for because she just looks like a little cult leader.
Okay.
But I didn't really get too deep into the whole process of it, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do that video. So
wow,
yeah, but it was funny. I just saw it in my head. I saw everyone just this little child comes out, and everyone's just like,
the one thing about making videos, you like with a guy like James, like you could do so much.
Yeah.
But once you start thinking of something very elaborate, like to me personally, I'm like, how long is this going to take? Because I want it out now.
But you're like an instant gratification dude.
I am.
Too. That's your whole vibe, which is cool. You're like, yo, dude, I'm going to sit on the toilet. You're going to film me playing guitar. Okay. We're going to be done by 2:00. I got a thing.
That's right.
I'm going to put out this tune.
Yeah. No patience.
You have no patience, but I might procrastinate too much, but James is a dude that I feel like you can really hash stuff out with. So I'm going to talk to him. We did a live shoot at that Westfall studio recently. My buddy Billy Reimer from Dillinger, you mentioned them earlier, but he played drums on that. And in this we did like 4 or 5 tunes live, but we did it. All the stuff is to click. So and James shot the thing. So we're going to put out like a live thing, like super high quality, like wait, hold on. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Oh, wait, can you hear me? It said like,
No.
our thing just got shut off.
No, I
Do you
hear
see?
you.
Oh, sorry. Someone called me and it like shot me off the decline. Hold on a second. Oh, what a bone kill. You see me fine?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'll cut it out.
All right. Yeah. I just how do I get back to you? It just says join a meeting. My Zoom thing is off.
I don't know. I see you.
Hold on. It's strange. It's like signed me out. Oh, there you go. Okay. Weird. All right. Yeah, cut to. So we did that at Westfall, and we, because the songs are like, I do have some random stuff, like random beats or noises or stuff to like backing track. Like we played a click. So the video, the dude Mark, who's part of the label, was like, oh, because we're kind of running out of time if I want to get this single out pretty soon. So he was like, oh, maybe you could make something out of that video. And I was like, oh, I mean, it's to a click. I mean, and it looked cool. If it looks cool, then we can. So I'm waiting for James, but I might just do that and cut something like a concept and cut it into it. And which I'm not really big into like performance videos at all that are like synced up. But if there's just something cool that works and it looks far out, then I'm down,
Yeah. I mean, I'm more into like the random shit, I mean, we when we make the videos, I don't really I let the director do their thing, and to me, like, if I was never in any of them, I wouldn't care, like,
yeah,
I would watch videos in the 90s, and I feel like none of those bands were ever in their video. Right.
Oh, sorry.
And they were never they were never like the big part of the video. So like Dinosaur Jr. was playing like, golf or something, just like they were just kind of like walking around. But yeah, man, James is great. Maybe we'll do something with him again. But videos are the shit. And I feel like if you're dropping singles, like you guys seem to be, it's a nice companion piece to just throw up on your YouTube channel, and people could either go to the digital platforms to listen to your song, or if they're sitting on YouTube, they they crank it up on the TV and like, oh, that was a cool visual.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's nice, I guess. The I had something very profound to say, but it's gone. It escaped me. But yeah, so anyway, so we're gonna figure that out. I mean, I don't care even if I put it out without a video, to be honest with you. But
Is Bill in Suicidal Tendencies right now?
Billy Reimer,
Yeah.
he played with them. Yeah, he
Okay.
did play with them. Yeah, I don't know if he's consistently in it. I got to have dinner with him. I've been meaning to meet up with him since we did that shoot, but
Yeah, he's all over the place. Good for him.
yeah. Also James Usher, I'll give them a shout because it's going to be coming out through my label and the Greenwich Recordings too, is the new heavy duty super ego that Daryl Palumbo and I produced that like years ago, and it still just sounds to me, as Gary Delabate would say, it still holds up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
a 9 for sure.
it's annoying.
It's annoying.
So
I heard they had Sour Shoes do guest vocals on there.
they did. Obviously we're very big Howard Stern fans, as we said the last time,
but yeah, so they've been releasing that periodically too, right?
yes, but now it's all going to be taken down and be coming out through like the labels, through us and the other label, because they're putting out a physical copy. So, and they just did a video with James, and yeah, so that's gonna be cool. I just wanted to shout that out because it's something coming out.
As a business owner and someone who does a lot of studio production work, why did you feel like you needed to tackle something as strenuous as having a label?
I'm doing it as such like a little, like I've always wanted to do that, just like to put out little things, physical copies or something. It's not like I'm trying to like start some crazy new business on top of the ones that I have that already take up a lot of my time. But I think I produce a lot of stuff, and it's like I can go, oh well, cool, we made this record, and now I'll help you, get the video done, get this done, get the artwork done. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like I just use the steps of everything I'm doing myself, and then I put my little thing on it, my little label thing.
Cool. Now as far as like are you looking at any like live shows? I know we booked like 2 shows this year. I didn't really think we were ever gonna play live like in the last year or this year, but things seem to be kind of opening up and stuff. So like,
yeah.
Do you have these people itinerary, maybe like a show here or there that you want to do?
I haven't booked anything yet, but I would like to. I feel like everyone hasn't played in so long that like every band in the universe is playing. So I feel like it's going to be hard to get a show, I guess, until depending on what it is. I don't know.
But still, I mean, you could do something local in Long Beach over at what's that place? Jetty? Speakeasy or like Jetty, like some of those places are fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I think I want to do that. It's just like when I play live with these people, it is like a process because we have to like practice. So, and I usually do that only when I have something lined up. You know what I mean? I'm not like jamming and then like Billy played on this live thing we did, and then I don't, he's very busy, so I don't know if he's going to be playing for any stuff like that. But after that, I have to like it's a lot of work to put together. You know what I mean? But we have the stuff, and we could do it. I think so. I do want to play. I miss playing a bit, obviously. This last year has been wild or so.
Yeah, it's been 2020. This year seems to be kind of, I don't know, everything seems to be going well. I don't know, I'm having a good time. I think, trying to stay busy, talking to some people, making some records, filming some videos.
Yeah. I did another project too, actually. Me and James from my band did this like super, I think I might have sent it to you too, but just a whole different thing. Like not these people, it has a different name, and it's just more super electronic, and like it's just fun. I haven't made music like that in a long time where I like focused on that. It's still very angular, but it's really fun to make, a very natural like process. You know what I mean? When I do these people, I have a very set process, and this is more like I could just like experiment with some weird drum machine or whatever, and then it kind of like there's no rules to it, I guess. Whereas these people, even though I feel like it might sometimes not sound like that, but I just feel like there is a structure to these people. You know what I mean? Like,
And you happen to like always find people like top-notch people. Like you take Bill, your brother, James,
yeah.
like these are people that are like severely talented players.
Yeah, very fortunate about that because I've had like 20 band members, 18 band members, or, you know, like
Yeah.
it's like kind of like what's cool about it, I think is like with these people is like it's like essentially my solo project that, you know, I produce with my brother and he co-writes stuff with me. And I have a lot of freedom since I record and mix that I can, you know, put a lot of time into that. I like get like learning a skill for the last, you know, 10 years, 15 years. I've been learning how to, you know, produce and record. And I really love doing it. Something I really love to do. So
Do you feel like that's something that you're always going to get better at, or do you feel like you've
yeah,
peaked?
no, I don't know. I like to think that I still learn. Like I just learned a program the other day that I was thinking about for a while. And no, I think I'd like to think I'll keep getting better at it. That'd be kind of, I might get sad if I think that I peaked.
Oh no, I'm just
But
saying,
no,
like
I'm just joking.
as far as like, yeah,
I guess it's done. I'm just
yeah.
gonna.
As far as like, you know, like the confidence level of like if you're faced with an issue in there, you're like, yeah, like basically right now you have all the confidence in the world that you could, you know, produce and record yourself 100%.
Yeah, and I've been like I work with friends and help them with tunes, and it's really I love producing. I'd say is really my favorite thing because I do like helping and writing with them because there's no lapse of time. You know, I'm not sitting here like I'm producing like you're paying me and you're walking in circles for 2 hours trying to find a line. Like I'm able to help really quick, and I think it kind of moves the process along. If you know what I do and you hear the music I've made, then it's going to be, you know what you're in for. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm happy to help if you want that help. You know what I mean? To like add to it so we can move the session and get on to something else or the next part, So
Yeah, I love that. If I got a chance to do it more, I would love to do that. Obviously, it's just to be completely involved in like, you know, if someone was like, hey, I have these 4 songs, do you want to listen to them and maybe give me some advice or like maybe like be that fifth ear, which is what a producer obviously does. That stuff is fun. It's like, hey, I don't know, maybe change that chord and put it here, make this longer. So
but it's funny when some people are like, I don't know, I find I specifically go into my sessions kind of like, hey, like, I enjoy helping you. I enjoy writing with you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to write your tune. Like, I have done that if someone wants it, but like, I don't need to write your song. I just like to, add elements to it that might be on that. But some people just want someone to hit record, which is like not what I do. Like, I don't find that fun to me. Yeah. So, no. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, if I don't know, maybe if I didn't have the other businesses and I did this as like my main thing, I'll hit that record. You know what I mean? But I do this for like, cause I love it too. It's just,
well, yeah, you get to flex the creativity, that's what it is. You're like
fulfilling.
You're a creative person. So you want to like you said, to hit record. It's like, that doesn't sound like fun. It's like, that sounds like a job.
Yeah, which is cool. Whatever, that's fine. It's just like for me, if I did that, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. But also, I also like showing people my process, and not that, like I was working with my friend yesterday and just like kind of brought me a tune, and then we were kind of just cutting it up, and we did that like some time ago, but then we went back and added more stuff yesterday. But like, I like showing you like my thought process. You don't have to take it if you don't want to, but what I'll be like, that's too many words. Like, what are you trying to say? Let's get to the point in a part and consolidate down to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and where's your chorus? Like, I'm not even hearing like something that's not sticking in my head. Not that I want to write these, I'm not trying to make it like uber pop or something where it's like, I like to do things where you feel like you've heard it before, but you've never heard it. You know what I mean? And you could do that by moving the melody a hair or like the second part, or like, there's so many tricks you can do that you could be like, wow, that's really memorable, but it's not like, oh, anyone could have just thought of that the first thing. I think I could be completely wrong on what I'm saying, but in my mind, when I'm showing people stuff, I'm kind of like, don't you want to be so excited about, like, you can't give me, your verse can't be better than your chorus. That doesn't make any sense. Like, no. They should be all the same.
Yeah.
As great, like that Another Girl, Another Planet song, like that verse like blows me away. But sometimes people just, I just think it's fun to show people my process. And if they like it, then they walk away from it and they actually like learn something like, oh, well, I've been doing this for a long time, so you can take that or not. You know what I mean? But if it helps you to make something quicker than that normally would. That makes me happy, you know.
You're a mad genius.
right.
I asked you, I gave you some homework before this little bonus episode here. Just give me some songs or albums that
Yeah, let me
you
look at
know,
my.
just things that are in TJ's DNA. Like I really wanted to get into the shit that really inspires you.
Yeah, let me see.
And for this episode, I'm probably gonna start it with the Johnny Thunder song and close it with that other song.
Oh, all right, that's cool. I mean, even though none of those are in my 5 top albums and songs, but
Doesn't matter.
you should do it anyway.
You just like those songs.
Oh, and if you do you want to play levels too, by the way? And the thing you can't, you know, did you do that
I-
last time?
I'll do whatever you want me to play. That's fine. Yeah, I'll
Alright.
throw these people in the beginning.
Well, that new one that's coming out, that'd be cool if you want to.
I got you, bro.
Cool, man. All right, so this was very tough for me because I'm trying to think of it also as what, like, there's tunes that I might, you know, like that I don't come across in my sound that I love and I'm obsessed with. You know, what I
Doesn't
mean?
matter. Yeah, it's the same for me, man. Believe me.
Well, I'm a little bummed I don't have Cool Keith on here, but just know that he's there somewhere in
Yes.
here. Dr. Octagon. Ooh, that is really good. I'm gonna have to change one of my things. All right, so top 5 albums, I guess, and most influential to me that still hold up, by the way. I just want to say again. The Madcap Laughs by Syd Barrett.
Hmm.
I think that was very, you know, I got into Syd Barrett very young, and I think that when I went to write my own tunes, it kind of stuck with me, like just his, you know, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like just his style was something that when I went out, I that was still in me, even though I, you know, from just a young age, because it was,
Yeah,
you know.
knowing what I know of you and your process and the shit that you make, like that makes sense that that's like one of the albums that you checked out like, at an early age. I mean, that would be definitely emotionally devastating to anyone who picked it up at whatever age you picked it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life changing.
Yeah. So, hold on. And okay, so number 2, and in no particular order, but David Bowie's Low. That record, he did that with Brian Eno, Iggy Pop's on a tune or two. That's like, I never get sick of that record. You know, I know it really well. The second half is a little more Brian Eno-y, ambient, very beautiful.
Cool. Yeah. What we're
record.
gonna do too is we'll pick 2 songs from these 5 albums,
Yeah.
and then I'll make a Spotify playlist and we'll attach it
Nice.
to the episode.
Yes. So The Evil One by Rocky Erickson. Have you heard that record?
No, but I know the guy.
Yeah, that one record was very influential to me when I started these people. I don't know. I just remember being really obsessed with that record, and that's a really wild record. So
Does it have that one song? I forget.
Two-Headed Dog.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
But it's very, very interesting. I would look up that, you know, about that. I'm not going to sit there and tell the whole story of that too. But Underwater Moonlight, I'd say I guess will be my last one from the Soft Boys. My brother actually got me into Robin Hitchcock a bunch of years ago, and the Soft Boys are like there's a very Syd Barrett thing about that, but it's a little more post-punky, you know what I mean? And there's just something about the riffs and the songwriting and the lyrics. Like, I just love that record a lot. So all these records I can listen to. Oh, that wasn't the 5th one.
No, that was the 4th
one.
Yeah. I thought you forgot how to count.
I did forget how to count because I'm looking at this and I wrote it down, but I'm reading it out of order.
That's all right. Calm down. Don't worry.
Yeah. So that record, Underwater Moonlight by the Soft Boys, great record. Future Days by Can. That record, it's probably tied with Tago Mago for me, those 2 records. But Can, like we've talked about, that's a band that really, like, I don't know. I think I just changed my idea of songwriting. It was like, you know what I mean? Just because, like you talk about loops, or just like the rhythm section is always, you know, a lot of the time in the same kind of place, which was very hypnotic. And then the music kind of could go along. I think like Forces at Work has a bit of a Can thing that my brother did on the drums, you know, so all these things are, I would say, very influential to me. Like,
no, yeah, it's cool that you mentioned like, so Can, like there's certain records or bands like that just alter how you look at songwriting. You know, and that's how, like, when I first heard like the Pixies, like
Yeah.
I heard like Trompe le Monde, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it just kind of like like it's like, wait a minute, I couldn't. It just changed like how I looked
That's
at
amazing
songwriting.
too. It's dude, this is too hard. Like, because I could also tell you
Right,
100
but it's like,
things.
but like you said,
It's the
with Can,
hardest.
with Can, like there's certain records that you're just like, okay, let me just wipe the slate clean, because nothing makes sense except for this album right now, and this is songwriting right now. So
I was trying to use it for like, what are things that just totally, I could hear in my own music to a
Cool.
degree. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
all right, I guess we could do the songs now. Do you want to jump to
Yeah,
the
let's
songs?
yeah.
Many Rivers to Cross by Harry Nilsson, which was I don't know if you know that tune, but it's a cover actually, but it's on this album called Pussycats that him and that John Lennon produced. I recommend that album very much so. It's a amazing story where him and John were like on a lot of drugs, just screaming at the top of their lungs, and he blew his voice out, and he had this like beautiful, pristine voice like the whole time, if you know Harry Nilsson. And then this record is like, he just sounds ripped apart, and it's like insane.
Did you watch the documentary on his life?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. I love Harry Nilsson. So that one song, that's just popped into mind. I love that song.
Sure.
Number 2, Waiting Around to Die by Townes Van Zandt. I'm a big Townes Van Zandt fan. He's got a very cool story as well, and a documentary as well to boot that you enjoy. That was actually the first song he ever wrote, and that's why, even more so, that's one of my favorite songs, because that is, some people go a whole life and never write a song that good, and that was the first song he wrote. So Heaven, number 3, Heaven by the Talking Heads. I just think I love the Talking Heads a lot, but that is like I don't know why that popped in my head. I haven't even listened to it in so many years, but I just remember hearing that when I was younger for the first time and just being like, whoa.
I'm gonna send you a song. So there's a band called Bleachers, which I really like, and there's like the dude Jack Antonoff. He's like a songwriter for a lot of people, and a lot of the stuff that he puts out under the name Bleachers really reminds me of Talking Heads. And they have a new song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a new song and video out. I'll send it to you just to see.
Cool.
You could tell me how much you hate it.
I will. I would love to. I'm just kidding. And then number 4, I put this on here because this is like one of my favorite bands, like Blur. I'm just such a huge fan. Like, I don't know why. I love them so much. Like,
what
the album Think Tank.
Okay.
This song is called Battery in Your Leg off of Think Tank. That record, Think Tank, is I just love that record. I don't know why. I've listened to it so many times. It's absurd.
Good.
But
that's what
I
we're
love Damon Albarn. I'm obsessed with that dude. I don't know why. I gotta stop.
Did you go? Did you follow him into Gorillaz?
I didn't at first, and then later on, I liked like the tracks that I think there's a lot of really great tracks. Actually, there was the one that came out not too long ago with Robert Smith.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoa, I thought that was like, I loved it. I don't know. I was like, I listened to that a bunch when that came out. I was like, that's insane. It was
It's cool.
So,
it's cool when you have like a second career, which is what he did with Gorillaz. With the concept, it's like really,
it was really awesome.
Pretty fucking cool. Not many people could reinvent themselves, and he did under cartoons.
Yeah, I actually saw that live.
Me too. Yeah,
and I thought it was awesome. A lot of people on stage. That must be an expensive endeavor to do that, because there's a lot of guest people.
No money.
Really cool. Love him. And then I put this tune called Safety in Numbers by the band The Adverts, who's also like one of my favorite, another band I just love a lot. And they had an album called Crossing the Red Sea, which is amazing. But the song Safety in Numbers is on that. And I remember I slightly lifted a melody from it, but nobody would know what it was. So it'd be pointless. I couldn't even get sued. It was so.
They do now. That's it.
But you couldn't even, I would love for you to find it, because it was not the same thing. It just inspired me to like 2 notes of it. It was the way it did it. You know what I mean? But I would never tell you which.
But it doesn't. That's the thing, man. It's like we take things and like subconsciously you could probably be like, oh, this is where you got these last 5 songs of like, let's say my EP.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think of it that way. But if you told me, I'd be like, you know what? You're probably right.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, it's just, we're all consuming the same shit, and we're just like throwing like, You know, it's just all one big influence, and everyone's just kind of like gnawing on it.
It's like a big piece of influential cheese. Is that what you're saying? And
That's
everyone's a
it.
bunch of rats.
That's it. We're
that
all
your-
just, yeah.
I see what you're saying. I'm gonna think about that. I'm
That's
gonna
right.
write. But yeah, man. So those are the ones I came up with.
Cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to get off your chest on this return bonus episode?
No, not really. I guess. I mean, we talked
covered
about everything. We talked about
Yeah.
Parallel Division. That's on Instagram at Parallel Division Records. I'm gonna keep putting stuff. I'm gonna keep putting stuff out through that. The 7-inch, these people 7-inch, followed by an EP. My brother's working on the art for that right now. I'm mixing the last song. And there's a bunch of stuff. You know, I didn't really make notes, but
No, yeah. I mean,
I think I said everything throughout this though, as much as
yeah, we have a good hour of just fucking catching up, and a lot of the stuff that you're into and doing, and you know, everybody go get that vodka slice from Za. You know,
the drunken Sicilian.
Business is good.
Yeah, it's been really busy. My Seaford location is I'm the main owner in that one, and it's just, you know, the pandemic was a crazy thing, a lot of takeout. You went there before, you had it.
Yeah, I love it.
It's nice. Yeah, it's cool, man. You know, I would say that's a job. Me owning that business, I would call that a job. You know what I mean?
The French pizza dilemma.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I almost had a French fry slice emergency earlier. I had to push back.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I look forward to if I never have pizza emergencies again. I would like that. But yeah, man. So I'm excited just to keep releasing all this stuff, and just I'm bad with deadlines, but now that I'm like, you know, working with other people at this other label through my label, it's like I'm getting deadlines and I'm able to do that, and that's, you know, otherwise I'll just keep writing.
Sometimes we need deadlines. That's it. You know, just I don't know. I need that set date, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it then. Because if you give me a year, I'll wait 364.
Dude. Yeah, 100%. That's one thing I think, and that's also something that I'm excited to do the label thing a little bit, because I can kind of help, kind of be like, all right, yo, let's you know, get this art done by this, and this thing, you know, get this done by this, and we'll put it out. And
it's also like a way to just be involved with the stuff that we like, which is the artistic side, which is the creative side, and it's the music side. So you immerse yourself in these things because it never really feels like a job. You know, it's like if someone gives you a problem of like, hey, I have a cool verse and I need a chorus. Let's fucking sit here and figure it out. That's like more of like a fun puzzle where you're like, oh shit, you know, it's like we just need that one chord progression to make that a real chorus and make it pop, and you know, that's the name of the game. That's
why I love that's the thing for me with producing. I say, even though I do that as a job, it's not a job to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like in the end, I'm loving watching someone else get excited about something that, you know, that they started, you know, they did. It's like very, very fulfilling for me. I would say I think about that often. So I'm lucky that I stayed with that, you know, because I love recording and producing. So
well, it's time for me to eat the rest of my lunch and then go party. So let's say goodbye right now, and then I'll just say goodbye.
Goodbye.